Background of stolen identity. I am Maria Martinez, is my present name, and evening knowing I had another birth certificate, under another name, Maria A. Hernandez. This name was given to me, at birth, by my father. I, Maria Martinez, was born in Alamosa, Colorado on March of 1963. At this time, my father lived in this small town, lived there, and died in Alamosa, Colorado. He passed away in 1982. As far as it seemed, regarding a mother, it seems that her name is Elsie Ibarra, who is on the birth certificate as my biological mother. There was a something that occurred when I was born, a decision that was made by my biological father. It was best at that time to give me up for adoption, for my protection. This adoption was arranged by my father, who was friends with my adopted parents, Cleo and Ray Martinez. These adoptee parents were rooted in Colorado. Family is rooted in Denver, Colorado. People knew each other at the time. It was a small town, so everyone knew of secrets. The reason for this adoption was because after I was born, Mrs. Katherine Archuleta tried to do me some harm by shooting at me and my father when I was a newborn. And why? There are questions of this coming to surface. Why? Since my adoptee parents were friends with my father and knew the background of these adoptee parents, they were close friends. Among the people from the past, mostly family members who knew of me, I have never lived in Colorado. I was brought to California after the threat of my life as a baby. Came to California after adoption and settled in a little house in Venice, California. During my years as an infant, my father would check on me with my adoptee parents. As I said, he was friends with my adoptee parents, so my father would visit. There was a father and daughter bond. This descendant made sure I was his firstborn child. As I grown from infant to toddler, I was raised by my adoptee parents, and I feel I got the chance to live a normal life. I was placed in a low-income family, but was raised by them, and raised the right way of life. For some reason, I was overprotected by parents, and my father. He was in my life during the infant years, and was in my life more, between 5 to 11 years of age. Between 1969 and 1975, there was visitation with my father, but was in secret, between my father and adopted parents. With permission, my father made sure he invested in me as a child. Between 1969 and 1975, during these years, on certain occasions, my father took me around the world. I was placed in beauty pageants as a child, and created a legacy through my father's help and time as a child. I was crowned 8 times through these beauty pageants that I had. 1. I was in commercials with Johnson & Johnson. I was in a sitcom in an Asian television. Even through, I didn't speak it. It was because I looked as if I was Oriental when I was small. During these years, my father made sure I was happy. As a child, when I was small, I had the privileges to have a summer program in my own backyard. Not very many children get to have this kind of privilege, to create a program from their backyard. This was called Parks and Recreation. It was fun, because for some reason, I had big school buses in front of my home. I had the whole neighborhood going on field trips every week. Food delivered every day, for lunches for the kids, and the adult workers who were paid to watch kids during the program. My adopted father, Ray Martinez, and Aurelio H. Hernandez, were partners during the years. My father was around during 1969 to 1975. It was an exciting time of my childhood years. There was joy, what my father did for me, and the reason he did this for me, almost every summer, had parks and recreation. Behind this house, where I grew up, was a time, I think, that my real father always wanted to be around me. And was concerned, but not as concerned, because I had good adoptee parents. And he loved me this much, to give me something, that I know he did for me, and only me. In a way, I grew up as a happy child. He tried to give me some happiness For the years he was around me between 1969 to 1975, these are the years he had invested in me, in other states and overseas in England. Because I had a bond with my biological father during that time after 1975, I didn't see him again. Things were changing. I didn't have no contract that I was supposed to have gotten. But then Mrs. Archuleta had to interfere in the business of me and my father, along with other family members that were always against me since a newborn. My father set this up for adoption because of the hatred family from my own town of Colorado hated on me since I was born, and my father knew the outcome because he was a seer, he saw the future. He knew I would be safer with a family that really showed me love, and that was my adopted parents. My father had left me with good loving parents. People knew of me when I was small, they knew something of importance, and it had to do with who my father was. People would look at me and just say I was spoiled and got everything I wanted. This is how people in family and friends would look at me that way. People always had an envious way towards me, and I never knew why, and I didn't understand how much people carried some kind of hatred towards me, and for what, I never knew this answer. Not knowing of what happened to my father from the last time I connect to him after he passed in 1982. The sad part of this is that people didn't want me to know of his death. There was a secret that these people who knew my father never wanted me to know of him. People hated the fact that my father loved me. These are the kind of family that have argued about me all my life just because of what I didn't know the answer, but knowing that my dad had left me something for the future, even though I didn't know how powerful he was in the government of the United States. It was sad to hear how people knew of me and knew who I was, and what was that? It seems that my father is a king and has his own kingdom. This is the secret that they keep from me on purpose. In 1982, when my father passed away, I am his first child, and I am the heiress of his kingdom and rightful heir to his fortune. These family members who have done this to me was wrong for what they have done in my life. When I turned 18 years old, I graduated from high school in California. I believe that have been watched by the government ever since I was small, and now I know why. And this is because of who my father is and his history in this lineage, which is all true royalty. Since I was his heiress to his legacy, it was supposed to come to me. When I turned 18 years old, but like I didn't know of this, it was really wrongdoing what these persons have done to an ancient person. They have done everything they could to concealment of this private information about my father, and it was right what these family members have done towards my life. This situation is really injustice. How this was done towards me was because of hatred by family, who never wanted me to have anything. Once I turned 18 years of age, my father's legacy was supposed to be given to me, my birthright. These people in Colorado knew of my father because he was giving, they knew who he was, they knew his title. They knew of this great wealth, in this generational wealthy legacy, that belonged to him, and then to me, as the rightful heiress to his throne. He left a will, stating my birthrights, and these people keep it from me, because they knew I was in the line of succession. Because of the duties that my biological father had to carry, his birthright was of royalty and his position and part of the United States, historic history, that was taken from me, because of greed and hatred of a little girl that was intent of hateful people who only wanted to take, and that is what they have done to me since I was small. There are certain people that have only used me because I am the first person in line is the monarch, followed by the monarch's children and then their grandchildren. It's very hurtful to find out what these people have done to my life, and realizing that these persons, who are a part of this, is multiple people involved. Why would the whole state of Colorado, Texas, Florida, knew so much of my life? To many people were told lies about my father and lies about me, when people don't know the truth, of reality, of my situation. At this point, it's sad how these people have taken half of my life and my father lineage in vain, for profit and gain, for over 50 years of gain and profit, from the royalty that were rightfully belonging to me. All were taken from me. For over 50 years, money that was supposed to be given to me. They keep my dad's legacy. They keep my legacy, because of the wealth in this trust. That belongs to me, under my birthright. 50 years of my life has been used without me knowing. A trust that belongs to me has been used by people who have impersonated to be me during the years of my life, which is under the laws of fraud, and pretending to be who they're not is against the law. These people broke the law in a big way towards me all my life, and this is just not right. For many years, and these person in this family in Colorado have literally been living in a life that don't belong to them. Behind the scenes, they have lived a good life for way too long, and they knew it. These persons have profited off me and this legacy and got rich off the money that they have stolen for over 50 years. These family members, co-workers, whoever at the time was responsible for the delivery of this inheritance that was never given to me, and I have never received 1 penny of my inheritance. For over 50 years of my life, these people have only left me in poverty for the most of my life. Even when I am not poor, they wanted to see me in poverty, and they did. They used me, used my father, in a bad way. These people didn't want me to exist, nor find out the truth of what they have done throughout the years that they took from my life, and all there is in this situation is abuse over people when they have one right to another person's life. For way too long, these persons have only violated my life. They have never spoken to me about my father, nor even explained. These persons are not of good faith. These people have literally killed for the money of my father and my ancestors that carry strong weight in this matter. These persons have killed to get this money my father was giving to people who didn't care for him, nor my real mother and twin brother were murdered, and grandparents and uncle. The truth is that even though I was apart from my biological father, something in my life has always been a mystery, ever since I was small, and knowing what I feel, even though I was in this legacy, among others, who got to enjoy their life, because once my father passed away in 1982, no one notified me. I never really got the chance to live my life. People have only lived my life through stealing and impersonating another person to get what they wanted, no matter what they had to do to get it. Where was my protection after my father passed away, and others of my royal family? What the protection of me and my rights? I have a lot of right here that need to be spoken in regard to this lineage. People that it was okay to dismiss my father in this life. They were never loyal to him. They used him to the point of murder, and all this need to go back and investigate this matter. There has not been no justice. These people have gotten away with a lot for so long. Even though I am the outsider of this matter, no matter, this people have no right, no long live under my father's lineage. Some people will be taken off. I am very saddened of the past. This is too much of what these people have done in the past, and after all these years that have passed, no one still cannot speak the truth. But something is really wrong here. In this whole entire situation from the past, I tried going to Colorado, but I only got death threats from people who have done this, and that is Mrs. Katherine Archuleta and Edmundo Gonzalez, who are the culprits in this matter from the past. These person have done the worst in my life, and because they got a hold of an inheritance that belongs to me from the past, and they have been living off it for over 50 years, money that belongs to me. They took it on purpose, and have hoped I would never find this out, and this is just wrong. This people have left me in poverty for 50 years of my life, when I didn't deserve it. These people have withheld this from me for way too long, and they need to be accountable for it, and I find it very disappointing how the state of Colorado, who knew of all this, allowed these persons had taken control of this legacy and every else that comes with it, money, property, land, assets, that were supposed to be given to me. At age 18 years old, where did all this go? To people that had no rights whatsoever. The Department of Treasury showed have known years ago. The Department of IRS show have known years ago when this was going on. All this was an inside job. I feel really betrayed and defrauded by people, family, co-workers, whoever that is connected to these people. My own state family who I thought loved me, only actually hate me, and after 50 years of these persons' lies that they have created all these years about me are so untrue. When I have never been around these people, never in my life. Something has always kept me away, and even through what they have done from the past is disturbing and just wrong. These people are not normal. What they did, something is wrong here, because they think playing with other people's life for so long that it is not okay, and in my words, not no more. There has been so much identity thief from the past that this lineage has been taken for granted and abuse for so long. This people just don't want to give it up, because since this past problem with these people have lastly given away things that were not theirs. And I am talking about millions, not dollars. The way they have used me was a crime that I have never been a part of, and all I see is people who like to just get people into situations when it is not reality to them. This is my reality, because I had to live this life. I had to live the best way I could, even without the money that was taken. I was never compensated for 50 years of my life, and I am 60 years old. Half of my life was taken away and wasted my years when I could have done better in my life for my own family. But these kinds of people have taken from me and my own kids. These people have deprived me of my birthright and what belonged to my own children. This bloodline is not a joke, like people have played. I take it seriously, and if no one takes it seriously, like they haven't, that is their problem. People have really done me wrong, but people did it because once my father passed away, they cared more of his wealth than him. For me, this was done because despite who he was, he passed away at an early age of 45 years old, but dealing with certain people that he was around only used him to the point of murder. People don't really realize how severe all these years of betrayal, just the betrayal alone, has caused the truth to come out from all angles, but the continues of hiding the truth and the factor of the matter and concealing this information of my father has crossed the line in everything these people have done is a shame, and whoever took part in the past to help create and deceive many departments of the government, and this situation will be investigated from the past, and it will be calculated, and it will be spoken about. Many things in my father lineage have been destroyed. A lot of heirlooms that were left and belong to me will be accounted for. It is wrong that people who feel that they are entitled to something is wrong. I am not the kind of person who feels entitled to another, and people shouldn't feel titled to another person's life just because of money. No, they want to be titled as control of my life, and that is a no. I am only here because I was born into my birthright and the legacy I made with my father, so I am worthy, not backing down after what they have done. So image 60 years of money that has accumulated throughout my years in this legacy, a lot of money that has interested in a wealthy lineage. Money that they were keeping and selfish. These persons never thought that I would have need this in my life, and this is the worst cruelty I have experienced when I did nothing to these persons, nor family, that I was never around. So how did they hate me so much? By the lies, secrets of their own ways of life, which is not my life. The circumstances from the past always had the chance to be truthful, but the past decide to keep this a secret. Even they have brought the community to the put of hating and bullying another, when I have never been around these folks, for these people to behave the way they did towards me. I feel that not everyone really knows the truth. This is why I speak my truth, because these people who want other people to see me the way they want, I dislike these persons, because the truth is they are dark and only have lost their soul along the way. Somehow, during all these years.